Welcome back to our channel, and today I am going to start a new project. It's my next Etsy project that I've been working on for quite some time, probably since September. I've been working with a design team to come up with some designs and to route some wood and to come up with this idea that I've had after I painted those American flag Mickey ears and put them on Etsy. People were wanting more options or see if I paint more, and my painting skills are very limited. So I said I can't paint anymore. So I decided to come up with an idea for the next best thing, to come up with an interchangeable design. And that's what I did. And I'll show you as I go through the process. Here is the Mickey piece, the wooden piece. It is the base, and I've gotten some of these, so I started working on these because I have to sand them down. Sanding them down with my trusty old Black & Decker here. And but also, more importantly, on the other side are these inset holes, and I'll show you where these come into play later on. But the step now is sand them down, and then I want to paint one side white. I'm not going to paint both sides because I don't want the back side white paint get off on anybody's door if they hang it from a wreath or on the wall. So the back side is going to be El Natural. The front side will be painted white. Well, now it's time to paint these bad boys. I'm gonna put a coat of Kills on it first, and then just a coat of white paint. And I have a bunch of these pots sitting all over the place to place these on there so I can then dry them. And if you know what these are waiting to get cement put in them for more Mickey topiaries. I got a lot to get done. First, it's painting these guys. Get some, I'm not gonna put a thick layer of paint. And also, I'm not gonna get paint on the inside in the hole because I need to super glue something in there. And the super glue will hold much better to the wood than it will if there's paint in there. So, painting we go. Got 18 of these to do for now. Then tomorrow I go pick up 36 more. Well, it's almost 9 o'clock and I got a bunch of these painted. Actually, I got them all painted. There's, I think, 17 of them. And now it's time to go take a shower, relax a little bit, and then go to bed. On until phase 2. It's a few days later. These things are all dry. Now it's time for coat number 2, and I've got this Duramax paint. It's outdoor all-weather adhesive paint. So these aren't necessarily going to be made for outdoor, but they will be able to withstand outdoor weather with this paint for a little while because the wood on the back is still going to be exposed. So, and as long as it's like over an overhang or not directly in the rain or something like that, it'll last a long time. But if it gets soaked, water does get into wood and it causes it to expand and do funny stuff. So if that's where you're going to hang it, where it's going to get rained on all the time, I wouldn't recommend it. If it's outside and won't be in the weather, it'll be just fine. Now it's time for the next coat. Oh, there's a nice thick paint. Well, now that I've got a bunch of them painted, as you can see down here, they're drying, they dried off. Next step I want to do is to make it easier. Well, let me show you what I've got. Okay, now to finally show you what's going to happen here. I've got this piece painted. It's a tongue twister. And I have magnets. So there's these 3 holes. Magnets will be glued into each one of those holes. And then I have these designs. And these are the cool pieces. Let me show you the designs I have. So if you remember originally from the other video, I had the American flag design, the USA flag design. And then people wanted more options. But my painting skills are no good. So I worked with a design team, and I've got some designs. And they're going to be interchangeable. So what's going to happen, this is deep enough for 2 magnets. This is deep enough for 2 magnets. These magnets are going to be glued inside here. And then I'll have other 3 magnets placed on the back, exactly lined up with those holes. And then you can interchange them throughout the year according to the season, interest, whatever. So here's a pumpkin. Here's another fall one. I really like this one. This one came out well. I wasn't too sure about the background. I didn't have one originally and just looked weird with the white. So I found this background. And this is one for just year round. If you just want one year round, this is this one. The fireworks. Love it. Another one. The 4 parks. The monorail. We have a spring/Easter one. This one turned out great. With all the characters. The egg. And another pumpkin with a bow. And here comes Jenna with a battery. She's cleaning the house. And she's out of juice. So here's a pumpkin one. Let me get her battery for the vacuum, for the Dyson. It's an interchangeable one. Actually, I swapped out. I put an adapter in it so it lasts much longer than what the Dyson one actually lasts. There we go. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
So there's that bow one. And if you follow me on Insta, DLRTV, you got to vote for, oh shoot, I don't have the other one out here. This one, or let me go grab the other one. I don't think it's here. Oh no, it is. So, because I don't want to have, I actually had 4 different Christmas ones, and I thought that was a little overkill for the Christmas ones. So, I had this one, or the bow. And the winner was the bow. So I'm going to go with the bow. But I had this one as well. And then I had another vote. Let me go grab the other one. So here were the other 2 that got voted on. One was the blue one with the Mickey snowflakes and stuff in it, which is my favorite one. Or a black one. More or less going on, I guess, but not as snowy as this. I like the blue, and actually the blue one won as well, but I just don't have a lot of room for the inventory, and the way Etsy works, creating the listing has sort of been an issue with the way I want to do it. And then, oh, ouch, splinter. And then of course, still gonna have to have the USA flag, so I still have this one. So that's what I'm doing. And then right now, as I mentioned, I want to make it as easy as possible Sorry, my camera, I have it on a board and it's wobbly. Hopefully the camera's not too wobbly. I'm gonna take my time here, lift this up. But, so I'm gonna make a jig and I'm to put this around the edge, and then that way, every time I put one of these on here, they need to be perfect, so it's going to work with every head all the time, and that way it'll make it much easier and quicker to do that, because what's going to happen is the second magnet, as you can see, 2 magnets thick, it is it's even. So you're going to put a dab of super glue here, here, and here. And then this has to go right on top. Push it down there, press it down there. And then so the super glue sticks, it'll be good to go. So, that's what I'm doing now, is to create this jig to make it easier, more efficient. I'm all about efficiency. And it always progresses down the road. Because you never know, you think you have a good idea, then later on you're like, oh, I have another idea. So it'll only get better and more efficient as we move forward. And I have to be careful with the jig, because some of these pieces, they go over the edge. So you have to be aware of that to make sure it works for all of them. So this here will be roughly there. Right down there like that. And this is the material that these are made of. PVC board. It's called a PVC board. Put one on the top here. Oh, not on the tire. The one that's screwed right under the tire. That won't make for a good day. Okay. So now, every one of these. Oh, that one won't work. I forgot. Over here, a couple of these have a. There we go. Now, should, which if these are curved a little bit, should all fit in there. That way the magnet's correct on all of them. That way they all come out exactly right. I may need to make some minor adjustments up here, but overall, I'm gonna make sure they all. Okay, now that I got the jig all done, ready to go, I'm gonna go ahead and test each design and put one set of magnets on each one just to make sure they come out correct, and then test it on the wooden Mickey ones. In theory, they should fit everyone that has ever bought, and this is why I made it that way. So that way, if anybody buys one in the future, it will always fit the one that you already have, the wooden piece that you already have. So I got my stack of magnets. I'm just going to go ahead and put in there. They do polar, and it's funny. I learned a decent amount about magnets during this whole process because I had a tough time finding the correct ones. And magnets, they have a north and a south pole. And so what I did to see if it actually works, on one of the magnets, the ones that are in the wood pieces, these are much stronger. These are some strong magnets. So what I did, I took a line, just a fishing line, I taped it to it, and I spun it, because it said if it's a north or south pole, it'll go towards the north and the south. So sure enough, I spun it, let it go, and the north ended up pointing to the north and the south to the south. maybe once I get this, I'll show you a little science trick. It'll be Dale's science project for the decade, because that's all the science projects I ever do. But, so here we go. We put these magnets, center them as much as I can. So there's a little bit of play if needed. And the tricky part will be, how long do I have to let the super glue set? I'm going to give each one of these a little bit of a dab will do ya. Or a couple dabs maybe. I'm not too sure. We'll do that. First one to test, the fall one. And I got my jig here. This should work perfectly. Put it down in there. Make sure the bottom lines up. Press it down on the magnet. I'm going to go ahead and give it a test, see if they come out. Because that wasn't very long, but it's good super glue. Also during this process, I didn't know whether to use super glue or epoxy. With all the different super glue videos I watched, I decided to use this Loctite super glue. Was the best recommended. Let's give this a go. And no. One of the three came off, or stayed on. So we're going to go ahead and add a little more super glue to this one, to that one, and I should get a timer. Let's just make sure. And hold this down there. I do have some weights, so maybe what I'll do, because when I'm in the office I do work out a little bit, I set a weight on that one, and this one I'll just hold down there a little bit longer. Cue the Jeopardy music. Do 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 do. The other thing is, I wonder if I added too much super glue on some of these, so they're gonna be wet longer. It'll take a little bit longer to dry. So it'll be a little bit of a learning curve. Okay, I let that one set a little bit longer. Hopefully. Nope. Nope. I may need to try something else. Oh, this one came off. So now two of the three, and just not this last one. Probably have to let it set a bit longer. Oh, I just came up with another idea. If I set one of these stronger magnets on the top side, it may help pull that together, and the glue stick better. Thinking. So that may help. That may be a very clever idea there. It's funny because I used to work way back in the day in the RV production, and the super glue brings back some memories. Because I would, one of the jobs I had, I would caulk everything throughout the RV unit, and the finger would get raw. So every morning I put super glue on my fingertip to create a layer there, not to have my finger go raw and start bleeding. And then usually after 2 or 3 hours, I would have to put some more super glue on there because it would wear that super glue layer off, and then put more super glue on my finger, and then continue, and that would last for the rest of the day. That was a little super glue trick that I used while building RVs. Alright, let's give it another go. Nope. Huh. Okay. Just maybe have to let it sit longer. Well, it's been on there for a little bit now, and I did try something different. Boom. There we go. There we go. Now, I went and grabbed a bunch of these. They're pre-painted. I don't have the magnets in them yet. I'll put those in there. But so this one, it'll fit on any of them. It'll fit there. Yep. So that's how they'll work. So that way, no matter if you buy one of these right away, or if you buy one of these a year later, they will always match with every one of these that you buy as well. What I may even do, once I get a bunch of these done, just take super glue and dab it on the sides. Just to make sure. Because I prefer good quality stuff. And that's what I'm doing here. And I want to make it work the easiest way possible and last the longest way possible. So we got that. We got one done. And I'm going to go ahead and do one of each one of the others. We're getting closer. I'm excited about these things. These things turned out amazing. Couldn't be happier. So we'll do that. Ooh. Yeah, these magnets, I do not want them to stick together because they are hard to get apart. You want to see how strong these magnets are? There's the door. I'm not sure if you can tell or not. Oh, no. There's a magnet on this side. There's a magnet on the other side of the door. I got some good magnets. And again, that's by design. I want good quality stuff. Well, those are all done. And I crisscrossed them like that. I was testing it to be able to ship it the smallest box possible, because that's still something I'm working on with Etsy. And it'll be when people order these, they'll have to pick the ones that they want. You pick your bundle of 2, 3, all of them, depending which ones you want, and then you just message me for which ones you want. The more you buy, the bigger discount you get. And you get, that way you don't have to pay full price on each of them. So those are done. So I think what I'll do as well, I'll end up doing another jig, 1 or 2 more. That way if I do it, by the time I get to the third one, this one will be dry, and then this one will be dry, and so forth, and I can just keep going. And I won't waste as much time. So that's what I'll end up doing. Okay, so here goes the science test. Here's my magnet, and it's on a fishing line, a little fishing line. And this side, I have an N on it. That is the North Pole side of the magnet, and north is that way. That way's north. That way's south. So every time I spin it, north should be that way. So let's give it a go. Let's spin this thing. There we go. It's going to take a while. So sure enough, the north looks like it's facing that way to the north. I'll just do that for a while. But let's see if I just turn it to the south. Turn it to the south. Let go. Oh. It just turns to the north. That's pretty cool. And then that's how compasses work. You have a magnet in them, and then they turn to the north. So the next step is putting these heavy-duty magnets inside the wooden pieces. And these suckers are, these are some strong magnets. Oh crap. I mean, you literally can't put them anywhere. They just stick to everything. And if you have a magnet, because they have these spacers in between them, so you can pull them apart. Otherwise, these, oh man, crap. This one, I had a loaner and it stuck to that one. I've done it so often, I now sort of have the trick to be able to separate them, but they literally, they've pinched my fingers before and almost gave me a blood blister. And also, I think this is a 5-pound weight. 5-pound weight. And it holds it. See? It's crazy! Oh boy. Don't want that to happen. Yeah. So, time to put these guys in there. And I have my one magnet here that I found the polarity on the north side. So that way I know I can use this as with my other magnets to figure out which is the north side and to make sure they're all correct so nobody has any issues. That is the goal. Because the same polarity, they won't go together. They push apart like that. Turn it around. Oh yeah, they'll go together. So I got to make sure these are always correct. And go ahead and put some super glue in each one. And I'll put the magnet in there. I'll test to make sure I have the right one. I'm pretty sure. I'll double test. Yep, there we go. There we go. That'll be much quicker. You know what I'll do as well, I'll just make sure, yep, they work. Good to go. Fits. You just take this one off and then get your other design you want, put your other one on. Well, as you can see, I got all the ears, all the magnets set in there, and I did go get a different super glue, which this is, it had a lot more to it. Like this is almost 4 ounces, where this is not even like 0.2 of an ounce. So I needed something that don't run out as much. So I gave this Gorilla Glue a try, because with that, the different tests I've seen, the strength is very similar. And I glued it, and yes, the strength is very good. The only thing I didn't like about this, it doesn't set as quick. So it'll be perfect for these, because I just set the magnets down in there and it can dry. But for the designs, it would take too longer to set. It would take much longer than 45 seconds and just much longer to do everything. So I'm going to have to buy this glue, use this glue for the designs. So now that that's all done, the next step is to put these eye hooks in here, because I'll go right in here to be able to hang them as a wreath if you want to, or I'll put the sawtooth in there, as I'll show you on the back later. So what I did, I found the center there, center down here, and then I'll just use a straight edge to make it much easier, and I'll just do that, and then I'll mark each one in the center, then I'll pre-drill it. Much easier because they're all stacked. That'll be perfect. Just like that. Well, now that those are all done, these are the sawtooth mentioned, and this is what I meant, the sawtooth things. So I'll put those right there as well. That way one can hang it on the wall with a nail. And what you could do is to just unscrew this if you don't want the rope to show, or the rope does give it a little bit of a extra little pizzazz to it, even if using this. Or you can hang it from the wall by the rope, but I want to give people the options. So the options are there. Time to install those guys. Well, now that those are all on, the next thing I have is to put pieces of this here and here. That way if you hang this as a wreath on your door or on your wall, it won't damage your wall or the door if there's a wind or anything, and it won't be knocking at your door. So I'm going to put a little bit of protection on behind it for that. And if this is in the way, if you hang it from the door, you can easily just remove that and take that off if you don't want a sawtooth as well. So there's options. I love options. Well, now that I have all those on there, I did think of something, because as I go along, if there's anything to improve, there's one of our videos, Adventures of Jen and Dale, with a relaxing video. We just have it up playing all the time, or one of them. It's because it's nice and relaxing. But as I was saying, if I think of any improvements I can make through these, I will do so. And one thing I had thought about with these here, these protectors are a little fatter. I may see if I can find a thinner one that is still sturdy. That way, if you hang it on the wall, I did hang it on the wall, not really a big issue, but there's maybe a little bit wider of a gap than if I find something that's thinner. But if I can't find anything that's thinner, I'll just use these. So there may be variations of those. Or, if you hang it on the wall and you don't want those on there, pull them off. Easy peasy, just pull them off. No big deal. So I like that, because you can pull those off if you want to. You can take the sawtooth off if you want to. You can take the eye hook out if you want to. All the options. And I love it. Because they all just fit. These are so, you put it on there, adjust it if need to, but that one actually fit perfectly. That one fit perfectly. This one, so if you just want to take it off, take it off, take it off. Put this one over there, line it up, boom, just like that. Put this one over here, line it up, and it's on. I mean, it's the simplest thing. I love simplicity, but coolness, and this has both. Well, now that I've got hook on, those on, everything else, the final piece is the rope. And this will take a little bit of time. I figured out a knot that I'm going to use, and I got to put a little bit of hot glue. Got my hot glue gun to finish off the end of the rope so it doesn't unravel. And while I do that, got the laptop here. I'll be watching Notre Dame. Get these done. I have something else scheduled here in a little bit. Buddy asked me to come over to watch a UFC fight. Not huge into UFC, but I don't mind it. And it's finally earlier, because usually they're always late in the evening, so I never stay up. But it's much earlier today. So I said, sure, I'll come over. Made some popcorn, have some drinks, and hang out, and watch the UFC fight. Try not to burn myself. We'll get that scheduled. We'll get over there, and I think Jenna, she had the Halloween party last night. Didn't get home until 2 in the morning, so she's in relaxing. And then I think she may head to Epcot. Still toasty. I like the thicker rope look, so that's why I went with the thicker rope. There we go. A bunch more to do. Well, now that the rope is on, that's done. Everything else is done. Even during this whole process, I got a haircut. It's taken so long. And finally today, I got my boxes to ship these things. So they're all ready to go. I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier. I got my designs here. Pop that on. Need another one. Take that one off. Put this one on. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Do one more. Here's the Christmas one. So easy. Love it. Absolutely love it. Actually, let's see what the next one is. Do one more. What's this one? Oh, the other Christmas one. Good to go. How cool! And one other change I'm going to make. I was at Lowe's forever yesterday looking at a few different things, because with these rubber things here, they were a little thicker than what I had liked. So it's going to leave a little more of a gap. So I'm going to take all these off, and what I found that I'm going to use is these little dots. They're clear, they don't show up as much, they're heavy duty, and if they're outside, they'll be weatherproof. And I actually have one here with it on. I thought, oh yeah, it's actually the one with the design on it. And as you can see, right there, boom, boom, boom. Love it. So that's one change I'm going to make. I'm going to go with these guys on the back. Other than that, these are ready to be listed. Ready to start selling, and I'm excited. It's been a long process. and now it's finally come to completion. And as far as the listing goes on Etsy, that may change here or there as well. We'll see. It's just one thing. You go with the flow. I appreciate you watching the video, coming along of the making of the interchangeable Mickey heads for our Etsy shop. Oh, one other thing I did make a couple more of these jigs. That way, now I've got 3 of them. So I'll be able to put those in. Put the magnets on the design head pieces quicker. So thanks again. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for coming along. Be sure to go buy one of these. Go buy one of these, hang it on your door, hang it on your wall, even prop it up against something. So many options. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, all the things, and follow us on our Instagram page, Adventures of Jenna and Dale. Come follow along with all our different stuff that we're doing, because not everything gets turned into YouTube. We do a bunch of stuff that if we're just out and about, we show on our Instagram page. So thank you again. We built an adventure, and let's build another one. So the adventure's out there. Let's go find it.